Welcome to the How Good It Can Get podcast, where we dive deep into the transformative journey from surviving to thriving. Join me, your host, Andrea Rice, on this empowering exploration of mindfulness, spirituality, and unlocking your full potential. Let me show you just how good it can get. Hello and welcome back to How Good It Can Get. I am your host, Andrea Rice, and we are once again joined by How Good It Can Get co-founder Chan Maragh for the 5th episode in our 5-part series of the Ripple Effect of Anxiety. Chan, thank you so much for being back.
Thanks, Andrea. It's always wonderful to come together and these conversations with others' insight and different perspective from myself, who doesn't suffer from anxiety, as well as you, who have endured
I've overcome
pain of anxiety.
Yes, I suffered for years, but I'm happy to say that I no longer suffer from it, but that's why we do this, so that we can help the millions and like 1 billion people worldwide currently suffer from anxiety in one form or another.
Over 1 billion people that's been diagnosed, not to mention anyone else who had not been diagnosed, or others who don't even know that what they have is anxiety. But that will be for a whole nother topic.
Yes. But that is our mission, is just to reach and help as many people as possible. And given that we have this unique dynamic of someone who has suffered from anxiety and overcome it, and someone who has been a support for those suffering from anxiety, we're really grateful to be in a position to try and help. So we've talked a lot so far in this series about how anxiety touches everyone in your life. It does not just touch the person suffering. But now that we have a good understanding of how it impacts those around us, Chan, let's talk a little bit about how loved ones can support the person suffering from anxiety, and maybe some tips and resources and tools that they can use so that everyone impacted can live a more fulfilling life.
Sure, let's start with loved ones being empathetic. Loved ones need to understand that they can be supportive, but that they're not responsible for curing the other person's anxiety. They also need to protect their own well-being, and that means saying no sometimes, or encouraging the anxious person to seek additional help, which I'm sure sometimes can be met with resistance, at least initially.
Yes, but I think a couple of things that you said are so important, because if the person who is the support is not protecting their own mental health and setting those healthy boundaries by saying no sometimes, and understanding that they're not responsible for fixing the person, right? They are a support. So focusing on your well-being and how to be a support for the person suffering is just truly vital.
Yes, and we don't always realize it, but that's almost double work for the supporter, because you're doing both things. You're supporting the person with anxiety, and you're trying to maintain a healthy mental state for yourself while being loving and caring and understanding to the person suffering from anxiety.
Yeah, it can be a lot. And that's why, if you're not only a loved one who is supporting someone from anxiety, but you're the person suffering from anxiety yourself, that's why this series is so important, because I think a lot of times the person that is the support, one, they don't know how to support like they would like to, because it becomes a stressor for them. So being able to understand what they're going through as well is so important.
It is absolutely necessary.
What are some other tips that you would give to those who are in the support role?
So let's say the anxious person has a strong need for constant reassurance, maybe asking, "Are you sure everything will be okay?" repeatedly. It's important that I wouldn't dismiss their feelings, but acknowledge them, but then redirect. It may be I understand you're feeling anxious right now and I care about you. I can reassure you, but I can't keep answering the same question because that becomes frustrating to me.
So, Chan, that also comes back to what we had spoken about in previous episodes is setting healthy boundaries for the person that is the support, right? And communication. So, this may be a difficult topic, but it's important to set those boundaries so that we can limit the frustration for the support. And it also helps the person suffering understand the impact. They might not even be consciously aware that they are asking the same thing over and over again, that they need constant reassurance.
That is true. Something else that's often overlooked is probably what we could call emotional mirroring.
All right, tell us a little bit more about that and what that is.
So, spending a lot of time with someone who is constantly anxious can, over time, start to actually make the loved one feel more anxious themselves because we absorbed so much of that tension and now we're more prone to worrying about the person with anxiety, worrying our own happiness and how much we can give and what we should give, amount of support. Because again, if we constantly try to support you out of love, which I never have a problem doing, but it is draining. So we do have to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely. Exactly.
So, Chan, for all the partners, friends, and family members listening who are currently supporting someone with anxiety, what are some tangible steps that they can take to protect their own mental and emotional health while still being supportive?
The first big thing I would say looking back is to actually educate yourself about anxiety. Because it wasn't until I did that it better helped me understand how to deal with a person suffering from anxiety, which opened me up to be more empathetic and understanding, which in turn helps the person suffering from anxiety to know that I'm truly there instead of just saying, stop doing that. Again, we know that just doesn't work. Another thing you could do is seek your own support system. This could be getting together with friends or family and having a safe space to talk about your feelings and maybe get a different perspective from others, or prioritizing self-care is another important that can help keeps you recharge, maybe exercise or hobbies or even time spent alone. It gives you time to process and regroup your thoughts to
Yeah.
better support your loved one.
Yes, prioritizing self care is so important for everyone involved.
It is. And then you should never forget celebrating small victories. When the anxious person takes a step, no matter how small, it should be acknowledged. It should be reinforced positively. That will provide hope for the anxious person as well as the one supporting.
I love that, celebrating small victories, because dealing with anxiety, whether you're the person suffering or the support system, it is a challenge. It's a daily challenge for a lot of people. So anytime we can celebrate small victories, it's so important. And that really is how you build momentum. One small victory at a time. And like you said, hope is so important because anxiety impacts so many people across the globe.
Yes, hope is important, but we also have to remember we need to take action. It's not just hoping from a mental perspective. It's taking action to make sure you are doing something to positively support the person going through anxiety and having an understanding and again communicating so that person understands how it's affecting the supporter. And in any relationship, you have to support each other. Again, even in small ways and in small doses.
I like what you said about action, Chan, because we talk a lot about that in our anxiety program, that it takes action to really make change. So hope is important, but again, it's about taking action to really start change.
Correct.
So our hope is that no one suffers from anxiety, but like we said, it does affect millions and maybe even billions of people worldwide.
Actually, billions.
Actually, billions. So that is why Chan and I came together with our different backgrounds, different perspectives when it comes to anxiety, our different roles, and we put together the Beyond the Couch 28-day challenge to defeat anxiety.
Yes, it only made sense. It was a really easy decision to make with both of us bringing both worlds together to help the people suffering from anxiety.
If you're listening and you or someone you know is currently suffering, we do encourage you to go check out the website, howgooditcanget.com. There's a lot of information there about the Beyond the Couch 28-day challenge for defeating anxiety, but we also have a lot of free, useful tips and tricks and helpful tools to help with your anxiety. So thank you for joining us in this 5-part series, The Ripple Effect of Anxiety. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you got something from it, at least one takeaway that you can carry with you that will make your life a little bit better when it comes to helping and supporting our loved ones with anxiety. Chan, thank you again so much for all of your time and your contribution and all of the light you helped shed on this topic.
You're welcome, Andrea. I look forward to doing so much more with you and getting the word out there. Thank you.
You've been listening to the How Good It Can Get podcast. Remember, the power to transform your life is within you. So stay mindful, stay empowered, and keep embracing how good it can get.